Hello, welcome to the stream. Today I'm going to be playing some Doki Doki Literature Club. Oops, I forgot to change the game. Hang on. Okay. I should probably read these for you guys. We used to walk around the school together on days like this, but starting around the high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just die and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up. I'll avoid Melio. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Miss Misfit. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to the school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Miss Misfit, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I just dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. That sounds like me. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Doesn't make me keep worrying about you. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Fucking same, though. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Suri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. Thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest, after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. Let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, there's a new member here. Or the new member is here. I told you don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Miss Misfit, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Hump. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy, and this is Yuri, the smartest of the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Oh, well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Miss Misfit. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little You too, Monica. Come sit down, Miss Misfit. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Turn the cupcake around my finger looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you, you know. You, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down a teapot next to the cupcake tray. Keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not it. Insulting Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. Hello. Yes, this is... Well, I played it once a very long time ago and remember literally nothing, so I guess you could technically say it's a first playthrough again. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. But I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Yeah, I just started this a few minutes ago. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Well, I'll be streaming for about 4 hours, so I guess I'll get a good chunk of it done. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Miss Misfit, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers. My favorite are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Damn, alright, nice to know. Guess we'll see how long it takes me to get through Act 3. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Just really grasped something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Okay, sounds good, your beloved. I don't know how to pronounce that word after beloved. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. Looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Hehehe, your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulder. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them? Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Al clicks? Interesting. Yeah, I think I can just call you Alex. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. Y'all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Miss Misfit? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori must have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at and, lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, hump. Miss Misfit. You all, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make clear-headed decisions when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Slowly wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. And that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we could officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Miss Misfit, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Miss Misfit, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, so Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stays after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in our literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess it starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Um... Hi again, Miss Misfit. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Miss Misfit. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Wonder which the ones I picked, which one will connect me to? Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sarah told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Miss Misfit always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sarah, it's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? Might be a little jealous. How come? You and Miss Misfit can become good friends too. Sayori. As per usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sarah made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. You had to send me stuff to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. Make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Well, here. Yuri reaches into your bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. You'll look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? Guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. Probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's like that, not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that sparks their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. It's more important to figure out how to get people to show up at the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberately talking like this. Huh, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes. Ah ha ha, good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. Ah, you're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. Works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. Suppose that's why I ended up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. My eyes find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know? You need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. The close commercial to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Eh? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? That's the secret. I knew it. Come on. Just give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Eh? Sayori glances around at herself. How's it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, the hair sticking out all over here. Run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your brow isn't straight either, and there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger, but nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. You don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Eh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. Start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. What is? Oh, I forgot to read those. Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Eh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this, aren't you? Eh, I guess. Hey, be careful, the button might come off. I struggled to fully close the button near her chest. Does this even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. Sigh. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... Ah. Why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? It's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew. That's so much better. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. You take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine. It's a deal. Because we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Ah, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Eh? Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay. Miss Misfit, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Can't wait. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet and leaf toward from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Basuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. Yuri stares at the poem, but it passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah? Why do you ask? Just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. Couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. Might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kinda learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from a topic matter and they form-fit the word two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something to be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. So you can be a little bit biased though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the rest of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air out of the present day and the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. That was hard to read. So I have such terrible handwriting. What? Wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read it. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really scripted. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Siri? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Miss Misfit. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences into their words. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, is soon to be left with nothing. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. Guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Hi, Miss Misfit. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new at everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poems with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Miss Misfit. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. Hand Monica, my poem. I like this one. Makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? Wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. That may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it a different way, it ends up being more similar than you think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. Sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I could tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, it's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. It's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, it's because I have to sound confident. It doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. Oh, excuse me. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole and Wallach. Couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A nosy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, suddenly stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. So what do you think? It's very freeform. Is that, if that's what you call it? Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Ahaha, it's okay. Yeah, the kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a certain point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. It's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I actually like that one. That was cool. Told you they weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about that. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. Helps bring out the feelings in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Sorry, I keep forgetting to have to read all of these. You must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Ha 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 ha. Jeez. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Eh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people do, you know. So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a misfit poem that makes it feel extra special. Like I could feel your feelings in it. Sora hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. Really happy that you just wrote one. Just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. Not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, It's like I said before, Miss Misfit. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. Not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sounds like some stupid shit I would write. I'm actually really good at writing poems. But just for a fuck around one, that's something I would do. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. At least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. Didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. It was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I read and Tendon, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's brows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you just say something? Oh, it's nothing. Suki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you just completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Humph. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Miss Misfit did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Miss Misfit liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Suki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Miss Misfit appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Miss Misfit started showing up. Oh my god. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little. This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they noticed I was standing there. Miss Misfit. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Miss Misfit. But wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, but it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Miss Misfit? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. Oh, sorry, Natsuki, you're right that I liked my poem. See, wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand, Yuri. Eh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said something that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized, don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. Oop, sorry, Cheddar. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Miss Misfit. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Miss Misfit, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. Think to myself. Did learn a little about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Now to myself with newfound determination. Miss Misfit, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sorry about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between you and Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen often? No, no, no. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, Miss Misfit, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Free day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Yeah, 'cause like, I don't like Sayori, and Natsuki is a bitch. Yuri's just nice. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. Gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Plus, I also like Yuri's purple hair. Hi, Miss Misfit. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Hehehe. I'm just still not used to you being here in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood, but I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Eh? Why that? All of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Ah. Sarah nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill into the desk. 2 small coins fall out. Ha ha ha. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So you're either not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so the only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Hahaha. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book as always. Ah! I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell me, Miss Misfit, to let me borrow some. Tell it, Miss Misfit, to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved in like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. Frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. But I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but that's a fun side of you. That's... I like Sayori. She's just kind of annoying. That's... There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But, you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes, so I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Plop. Yeah, out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow, what was... Eh? A cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? Because I paid my restitution? Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. Ah ha 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 ha. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Ha 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 ha. Not Natsuki. That's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Geez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Oomph. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. Going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Oh. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you just seriously do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Eh? Hasuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh. Where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. It's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... Ah ha ha, I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monica closes the club over her... Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. But boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Ah, never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. Must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Wasn't even where you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. Kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay, that sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Miss Misfit. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Ah ha ha, don't worry. I've been practicing a lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. Oh. Hang on, I just realized my camera froze. Give me a sec. There we go. See, in that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. Chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyways. Yeah, like I leaned over to do something, but then I looked over at my camera and saw I was still leaning. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. Wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious how come you have two copies of the same book. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. Sounds like Yuri is, a little bit crushing on me. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging, relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyways? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationship, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? It made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ha ha ha. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Miss Misfit? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be are also made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem when I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Well, what the heck? Is it working now? Really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. Is the game still froze or is it okay now? It's okay? Okay, yeah, it's good. Awesome, okay. To literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Ha ha ha, what are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I'd put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Uh, yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slid my desk until it's up against Yuri's and I hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit more, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead of using my right hand to hold the book open, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Eh? Turn the page. Ah, sorry. You get a bit distracted for a second. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. Continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does, like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. You remain silent for a moment, but Miss Misfit, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. Might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. Guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's a good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the 2 chapters in your own time. I might have to mess with that a little bit. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Hi again, Miss Misfit. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that, as long as it's not going to be bad. Happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. Alright, great job, Miss Misfit. I was going to say ooh, and I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. It's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imaginary and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe her happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of your nuances. It takes years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. Never really asked, though. Sure, I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about it. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Why are yours so long? Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony, I don't know how to pronounce that, of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, waveform, speaking, screeching, piercing, shine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me? It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper, choosing where and how to space your words so it can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short made it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. See, it's still hard for me to tell what it's about though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression or a feeling, or a conversation with readers. Putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this a tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? It's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yuri stares at the poem with an surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Miss Misfit, how did you pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. Really wanted to try giving it more imaginary. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. You saying you never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. Really only write for myself, and besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Oh my god. The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware of the raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom, the bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon. The moon, something its fades and reflects that much more light off of my cutting, the very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited, or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement, a rush of blood. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Um, I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poems as canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take that at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, yeah, that was a really good poem. I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. Those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Miss Misfit? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone's a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. Might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. The raccoon is the urge to What does that mean? The SH. I liked your last one better. Really? Well, yeah, I can tell you were a little more daring with this one, but you're really not good enough for that yet. It fell flat. Might be true, but I wanted to try something different. I'm still figuring this all out. I mean, I always like poems that aren't trying too hard. I hate when people try to sound fancy or add more meaning just by using annoying and complicated language. Oh. I did not entirely pick up on that. Damn, yeah, that was definitely very dark, but a good poem. Kind of like some Edgar Allan Poe stuff. Just make it simple, cute, and to the point. Yuri's head over heels for all his cryptic nonsense, but I see right through that BS. Ha! Making your reader look so hard for all this deep meaning is just an excuse to have no meaning at all. I guess that's one way to look at it. Well, everyone has their own opinion. But my opinion is the best opinion. I'm sure you figured that out already. Anyway, here's my poem. Maybe you'll learn something. Why are they all so long now? Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound at the rhythm of the words, but she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I try not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it hurts anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world's better off without spider lovers, and I'm gonna tell everyone. Excuse me. I adore spiders. I actually used to have a pet spider that was amazing. Yeah, Natsuki's kind of a bitch. I don't really like her. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I love spiders. I think they're really cute, especially jumping spiders. Normally, like, if it's a venomous one in my house, I'll kill it, but 9 times out of 10, I will rescue a spider and take it outside. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies. Like, I don't know, personally, I think it's shitty to not want to be friends with somebody just because they like spiders. If it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Yeah, my pet spider was a tarantula. I used to actually carry her around on my shoulder, or she'd sit up on my head. And it helps people realize how. Oh, I already read that. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem was an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone thinks my. That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. Wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or guilty pleasure, something that they're afraid if people find out they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares about what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? Exactly. I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Huh, that's funny. Yuri wrote about something similar today. Huh? Did you say Yuri? Yeah. She said her poem was about an unusual hobby of hers. Oh my god, so the unusual hobby is that. Oh god, poor Yuri. That people shouldn't make each other feel insecure about those things. Really? Well, I mean, Yuri's pretty weird, so I wouldn't doubt that she has some weird hobbies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not like that. I would judge her on it. I wouldn't judge her or anything. Nasuki has trouble finding her words. I guess I should try not to be so mean to her. If she feels insecure about her weird behaviors and stuff. I mean, I always hate people who make me feel insecure. Yuri made me feel insecure yesterday. But the way you put it, it sounds like she's learned her lesson. I mean, I get the point of it. I just didn't like, because I thought she was talking about like herself not being friends with this person because of her weird hobbies, which is why I didn't like it. But now that I understand what she meant with that, yeah. So when I send it to her, I'm sure she'll appreciate the message in your poem. It's what I do best after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like conveying emotions is important, but I don't want people think, just not feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow too, so don't look forward to it. Or so look forward to it. Like this one, Miss Misfit. It has some nice feelings in it. Ah, I'm glad. Still though, your tone makes it sound like you liked yesterday's poem better. I guess you caught me. Sometimes you know me a little too well for my own good. Well, don't just try to be nice about it. If I'm doing a bad job, then I'd rather just hear it. No, no. I still like this one, I promise. You know I wouldn't lie to you, Miss Misfit. Never ever. Yeah, I guess so. What made yesterday's poem so great compared to this one, then? Um, well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. Not sure it's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Like, has she gone through some bad crap that has her being just kind of nasty most of the time? Because, like, I want to like her character, but she's just kind of nasty. Then I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of the whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Ugh. Why don't you just at least try giving it some thought? Oh, you want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. Even if you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Eh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. Hmm. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. Like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad. I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sorry, it's unexpectedly poetic. Eh, is it? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Miss Misfit. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? God damn, lady. Bottles. I pop off my soda like the lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach aside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. There's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams, friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secret hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Friends all done, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, handing them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the title between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Holy crap, Sarah, did you really write this? Of course I did. Yeah, that one was a little... kinda got a little depressing. I told you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever. Yeah, but... I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I'm really in touch with my feelings recently. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being so cheerful. Well, never mind. Thinking too hard about it. Point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. That's fair. She is very big on focusing on everybody else. It even helps me understanding my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Writing is the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Oops. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. Wonder if it's one of those times. Seeing the past in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so everyone can come stand at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sarah's working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Will do. Thank you for joining, Alex. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? But, Monica? Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. The cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sarah's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sarah, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. It's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with the others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you in here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if it all takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Asuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think the Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. Least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poems in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to a specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. Title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Ahaha, thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at all of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? Yuri gets past the first couple of lines. Her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. It's supposed to be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside of her. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone else is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me after we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off guard, so we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. So Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. Poem is aimlessly cheery like Sayori isn't. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were able to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into something I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sayori. Hehe, even Miss Misfit liked it. I guess it's a good sign. What does that even mean? Came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours that were sort of gentle, that a sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little bit more force behind them, depending on whatever you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. Just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Hehehehe. The next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know? Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Miss Misfit. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Miss Misfit lower everyone's standards a little before I have to. Natsuki, it's fine, it's fine. Might as well get it over with, but it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. Stand up and stand in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I received an applause anyways. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else is. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writings. Something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. It's called, Why Are You All Looking at Me? Because You're Presenting? Humph. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disperses a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and a rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style and works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words would feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. Better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it for other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. Might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? Making pamphlets, let me know ahead of time what you'll be citing. Geez, I should probably find some time to find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. Makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival's coming up. Let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. I'm working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sailor and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. Let's be a little nice, though. Well, we're supposed to respond to that. It's okay with Misfit, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. Walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed, but today Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. Ah, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... I mean... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it, geez. There's not any point, even any point, speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori. I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. Do you say so? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick little break and then I'll be back. Maybe with this game, or I might throw on some Skyrim because I forgot how much reading this involved. Uh, but yeah, I'll be right back.